No. No.
Right.
We have to carry, that is why present moment awareness is so important, because if you have those precious moments and you really are heartfelt in them, then you carry them for the rest of your time here on the planet, regardless of what is happening in your life and what is, what else is actually happening. There is such wisdom in that present moment awareness, and also we are asked at this time of the year to go inward in a very big way, and we're not always equipped to go as deep as maybe we're being asked to go. So we're like at the edge of our emotional ability to be able to deal with whatever is actually coming up with for us right now. And that happens every year. It does for me. Every year I go to my edge and then go a little bit further. But it's a wonderful journey, because I realize that this is part of the reason why we are alive, and we are to work out these issues. And the Dalai Lama said, your lessons will end when you are gone and have left the planet, but as long as you're on the planet, your lessons will continue. So I take that with hope. I take that message as one of hope, so that we are meant to go deep. We are meant to feel things on that deep level, and also to work things out as we go along. So that's the good news. And we're doing it collectively if we're doing it in awareness.
Yes.
So index finger and thumb together. We certainly are doing it here in awareness, for sure. Let the sit bones find their way into the floor, and you're going to lift up through the spine. Make sure that your belly and your lower back are working together, that they find that connection, so that the lower part of your pelvis, low back, hip joint feels like they are in the community that they are in. And then from that community, lift up through the spine. Bring the breath down into the belly, so that you really feel that deep connection in. When you close your eyes, allow your breath to move even deeper in. Be grateful for this time of being alive and in this body. The hearts of gratitude open more easily. So lengthen the inhale and the time of the exhale. And feel the cycle. Inhale and exhale, both having equal weight. Both meaningful actions of bringing the prana in and expelling toxins out. And now bring the breath into the belly, then let it rise all the way up to the lungs, and then from there all the way up to the base of the neck. You want to hold at the very top of the inhale and create that open space. Just a pause. And allow yourself to just feel the weight and the openness of that pause. And then exhale out from your throat, down into the lungs, and then again into the belly. And do this in a way that allows your mind to settle into the rhythm of your breath, so that we release all other thought and allow ourselves to be right here, right now, in this practice. Inhale and exhale. And then with your next exhale, whenever that happens, chin a little bit closer. You're going to find your edge, wherever that is, in the upper part of the back and the neck. And when you find that, just allow yourself to just breathe and move a little bit closer, chin to chest. Then release your hands from your thighs and bring them to the floor on either side of your hips. And on the inhale, lift the arms and lift the gaze in the seated sun breath and turn the palms and exhale, fingertips down and chin to the chest. And then the palms roll upward again, arms and gaze all the way up. Turn the palms and exhale, fingertips down, chin to the chest. 2 more times, palms roll all the way up. Celebrate your breath. Turn the palms and exhale. And last time, palms roll all the way up. Hands go to pray over your head, then down to the heart as you close your eyes for a moment and breathe into your own inner landscape. And we're about to hold winter solstice on Monday. All the changes that will be happening with Jupiter and Saturn coming together in the Christmas star light. Let yourself be open and ready to receive that light, to receive the change, to honor and to celebrate the shortest day of the year as we call back the sun on the 22nd. Breathing in. And then releasing and coming all the way back. So let's start today on our backs. I'm going to change it up a little bit because it's just the 2 of us, or the 3 of us. So start on your back, bend your knees, and create a circle going in one direction. Now let your hands guide your knees. So your hands are actively pressing into your knees, moving in one direction, not forcefully, guiding. And then you're going to release in the opposite direction. So just move one side or the other. Nice deep breath. Good. Then come back to center and gently bring your knees into your chest. And then let your knees press away from you. Now, here, take your hands to the top of your knees. Press your knees back to your hands, but let your hands resist. So your hands are actively pressing into your knees, and your knees are pressing into your hands. And just take a few deep breaths here. And then release that, and let your knees go around in a circle one more time in one direction, and then the other direction. Good. And then for a moment, just lift your feet up so that they are reaching for the blue sky, and then add your arms over your head, stretching your fingers away from you. Now bring your rib cage down slightly and stretch your toes towards the ceiling, fingers away from your toes. Nice deep breath. Then bring it all back together again. Hands onto the knee and rotate your knees in one direction and then the other. Good. Now place your feet onto the mat and let the feet be mat width apart, and gently, not like I'm not asking you to go all the way down to the floor. Let your knees sway to the right and then to the left in a gentle way. something to you. So just letting your knees windshield wiper back and forth with ease. Good. And then release and come all the way back. Come onto your side and then roll all the way back into a seated position. Good. Nice deep breath. And just let your feet be on the floor. Let your hands be on your shins. We're just going to do a little rounding here. So it's a little just a rounding, and then inhaling up. Good. So I'm holding on to the shins, and I'm creating the round stretch by bringing the head down, holding on to my shins with my hands, and then inhale all the way back up. Just small, gentle movements. Good. Exhale and round. We're not trying to get anywhere. We're just breathing into the body. And inhale up. Good. Exhale and round. And inhale up. That's the last time. Good. Then roll to one side. Come all the way up into a standing pose. Hopefully we're a little bit warmer now. And let your feet be, well, I showed you initially wide, but a little bit more than hips width. When we're talking about a restriction, you don't want to go too far. So just let the knees round, let the hips round, can bend the knees. And use your belly to really take your low back and your hips all the way around. So especially low back, you want to make sure that your belly is engaged. You want the strength of the belly to support the lower back. The low back should always be in a low back curve. You want the curve of the lumbar spine. Good. Now move in the opposite direction. You're moving slowly enough so that you can breathe into it. Good. All right, and then come all the way back to center. Feet parallel to one another. Just bend your knees and then inhale. You can keep your hands on your hips. Just bend your knees. Stretch the calf and hamstrings. You're just allowing your torso to come down straight. Exhale, bend, and inhale up. Use your muscles. Exhale, bend. Inhale up. Good. One more time. Exhale, bend, and inhale up. Arms are going to reach all the way up to a standing Tadasana. Exhale and fold. Shins forward, thighs back. Shins forward, thighs back. Head down towards the floor. Now, let your belly and then your lower part of your rib cage reach up towards your spine. Lengthen your back with that movement. It's subtle, it's strong. Head down towards the floor. Arms swing out to the side as we inhale all the way back up. Exhale and fold again. Shins forward, thighs back, head down towards the floor. While you're here, bend your knees generously. Take the top of the thighs back. This is all therapeutic. Bending the knees, take the top of the thighs back. Now, in this space, bring your rib cage up towards your spine. Lengthen your spine from there. Then stretch your arms all the way up. Come back to a standing Tadasana. Hands go to pray over your head. Then down to your heart, and just close your eyes for a moment as you breathe into that change of energy in your body. Nice deep breath. Good. Now this time we're going to move into a runner stretch. Arms reach all the way up. I'm going to exhale and fold. Again, bending the knees. Take the top of the thighs back. Head down towards the floor. Take the right leg back into the runner stretch. Hands are on either side of your left foot. Lift your right heel up and then press it back so you're engaging your quads. And breathe. Just the runner stretch right now. Right foot up to meet the left. Left foot back into the runner stretch. And again, these are hip openers. Bend into the right knee. Track your knee hands go to prayer overhead, and then down to the heart. Okay, so you're going to take a block, bring a block between your thighs, hug in. It's a very active pose. Feet, four corners of the feet onto the floor. You're going to start by just bending your knees and then inhaling up, all the while hugging into the block. Bend the knees and inhale up. Good. Exhale, bend. Good. Inhale up, engage your belly. Exhale, bend. Now from here, you're taking the top of the thighs back. Looks like Uttanasana again. Top of the thighs back. Arms reach up overhead into Utkatasana, the horseman's pose. Hugging in, top of the thigh back, belly up towards the spine. Good, and breathe. You want to make sure that both sides of your arms are stretching at the same rate, and then inhale and come all the way back up. Good. Nice deep breath. Holding the block in place, turn your palms towards the center. Close your eyes for a moment and just feel your midline. From the top of the head all the way through your torso, down between your legs, hugging the block in. Now, especially when you're dealing with an action that one side of your body is a little bit more inflamed than the other, we want to begin to feel the balance of the muscle energy. Muscle energy always heals. So begin to be aware of that. Good. And then opening up your eyes, you're going to bend the knees again. Take the top of the thighs back, arms reach up into Utkatasana. Bottom tips of the rib cage reach up towards the spine, not to round, but to reach up to strengthen the upper part of the back. Left hand comes across to hold on to the top of the right knee, and it's a stretch. Breathe. Now, if your name is Mary Lou, you're going to bring your rib cage up slightly, lengthen the lower part of your back, and breathe in. Good. You want to keep lengthening and breathing. Good. Release and come all the way back up. Nice deep breath. Just once again, palms forward. Take a breath. Close your eyes. You want to feel the practice. You want to feel your breath moving. I think in these dark times, in these times where there is so much night as opposed to the day, that there is a change in our breath. So as yoginis, we want to take that breath even deeper, deeper in. Good. Add your arms, open your eyes, go back to Utkatasana, like the slight adjustment, rib cage, bottom tips of the rib cage, not to overdo. Just bottom tips of the rib cage to feel more connected to lengthening your spine in the lower back. Right arm crosses over this time. Left arm is up. Block is helping you keep your knees forward.
Are we twisting?
Twisting! We sure are. Nice deep breath. Good. Looking underneath your left arm. That's it. And release and come all the way back up. Good. Once again, palms out. Notice your body. Notice what is opening. And breathe. Good. All right. So taking the block out, come to a wall or come to some sort of, I just want you to have the support, especially if we're not quite feeling strong today. So right now I'm showing you with my left hand onto the wall. Bring your right leg up. Now this is a piriformis stretch. Okay? So I take the right thigh back, bending in, coming into a standing floor pose, pigeon pose, psoas and piriformis. Add your right arm up. Now in this space, take your rib cage up. That's why holding onto the block may be, the wall might be a good idea to get the balance out of it. So you can do these little teeny minor things and take the top of the thighs down towards the earth a little bit more. Standing floor pose. Nice deep breath. Good. And then lift and come all the way back and shake that out. Other side. Moving to here. Right hand onto the wall. First, take a moment to breathe. We're not in a marathon race here. Just breathe in. You want to breathe into the stretch. So take the left knee out to the side. And ankle and top of the knee are really hugging together. They're one unit here. You're taking the top of the thigh back. So you're bending into the right knee. Take the top of the thigh back. Good. Just kind of breathe in. And now notice whether you've lost your breath. Take the bottom tips of the rib cage up so you're lengthening the upper part of the back and also the lower part of the back. When you do that, add the left arm up, maybe the right. Find a deep breath. That's it. Breathe. If anything, just take that nice deep breath into the stretch. Good. Then release it, come all the way back. And shake that out. Good. So we're coming into feet parallel to one another, into a wider stance now, Pasarda. Take your block and let your block be in the middle of the legs. You're going to bend into the right knee and then inhale up and then to the left. The whole time listening. Exhale and bend. And inhale up. Engage the belly. Exhale, bend. And inhale. When you're engaging the belly, don't let your rib cage do a little pop. Rib cage in. So you're allowing for your whole body, your back and your torso to be in alignment. Good. Exhale, bend. Inhale up. Good. Now we're here, turn your feet out to the 45-degree angle. This is where you're going to do a lot of listening. If you have piriformis troubles, you're going to lift up through your spine as you are bending your knees, and you're going to use your muscles. Good. Again, belly in. None of this business, this whole business. Upright. You still have your low back curve. You're in alignment. Head of the rib cage in. And then inhale up. So alignment will help. Muscle energy helps. Exhale, bend. Inhale up. Good. Exhale, bend. Use your breath. Inhale. You can keep your hands on your hips. Exhale, bend. Your feet are at a 45-degree angle and you're tracking your knees over the ankle. The knees aren't doing one of these. You're tracking the knees under. You adjust your legs to make sure that they're in alignment with your knees. Exhale, bend. Good. Inhale up. So your block is in front of you. You're turning back. 2 feet parallel to one another. So from a 45-degree angle, now we're parallel to one another. This is going to stretch the your outer legs. If you do a soft knees, take the top of the thighs back. You're going to feel this in your piriformis. At least I do. Let me put it that way. If I take my knees back too far, I feel it here, I don't feel it here. So my knees have to be soft, so I go from my feet all the way up to here. Place your hands on your piriformis, right here. And you're going to soften the knees. You're going to exhale forward. Slowly. Shins forward, thighs back. Thighs back is what's going to help you open your piriformis. Thighs back, inner groins back. Inner groins, low back, they are connected. Good, nice deep breath. Let your hands come onto the block in front of you. Find the place where you can bend into the right knee more deeply now. Inhale up, and then into the left. And inhale up. Bend into the right. And inhale up, bend into the left, and inhale up. Good. Now from here, let your hands come onto the floor. Bend your knees generously. Take the top of the thighs back. Head down towards the floor. Now if you have neck issues like I do, I'm going to let my neck do a little yes, a little no here. Just kind of let the weight of your head just draw your neck just a little, stretching it towards the floor. Again, moving the head of the arm bone up towards the ear and back. It's always about contrast, right? So let your head just loosen. Then press into your feet, hands onto your hips, and then inhale and come all the way back up. Good. Legs come together and shake it out. All right. All right, let's come onto the floor for a moment. We'll do a few things for the neck while we're talking about the neck. Just come into a gentle seated pose, a sukhasana, or whatever pose actually works for you. Taking a nice deep breath. First, I just want you to bring your chin down to your chest. Just kind of breathing into the stretch. Then bringing your left ear to your left shoulder. Good. Now bring your left hand up to hold on to the right side of your head. So left ear, left shoulder, right side. Now take your right hand and in an A position, let your fingers move and press down towards the floor and breathe into the right side of your neck. Again, right fingertips are reaching for the floor. Your left hand is kind of holding your head. Again, nothing is too much. We're not trying to overdo here. We're trying to move to your edge and breathe into it. That's the biggest thing. Nice deep breath. You find that one part of your body is tight. Other parts of your body that are tight will also loosen if you loosen one part. Good. Then release and come all the way back. And take a moment, because sometimes I find that actually, when I stretch to my edge, I kind of need to take a moment to cleanse my breath before I do the other side. And again, we're just going to let the chin come down to the chest. And you're going to breathe into whatever sensation is there for you. Taking a nice deep breath. Then roll your head so that the right ear is going towards the right shoulder now. And then take your right hand up and place it on the outside of your left temple, your left side of your head. And you're gently bringing that head a little closer to your right shoulder. Now take your left arm out into an A position, and you're stretching fingertips down towards the earth. So while your head is moving right towards the right and staying upright, your fingers are going to the left, going to the earth. So you're opening up the left side of your neck in way. Breathing in. Again, just finding that edge. And then release and come all the way back. And again, just bring your chin down to your chest. See if you can find that maybe those two actions have balanced your neck a little bit more. And if not, then do whatever movement might actually help you. Just kind of stretch it. Stretch whatever may be tight at the moment. And then release it, come all the way back. Move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. And you're going to clasp your hands behind you. Then, once again, move the head of the arm bone up and back. And you're just going to come forward in a forward bend. Take the rib cage up towards your spine. You're going to lengthen your low back. So we're back to some low back piriformis. Bring the hips down towards the earth as you lengthen up. And you may bring your arms away from your back or not. Just kind of breathe in. Keep a bend through your elbows so that you're not overstretching your elbow ligaments, but really working on the upper part of your back. Let your head stretch. Stretch forward. Nice deep breath. Don't let your head collapse here. Keep your curve of your neck. Keep the back of your head in line with your spine. And then release and come all the way back. Okay, then just shake your arms out. All right, so I am going to be demonstrating dolphin, but you can move to downward dog from here. You're going to roll over your legs and come into a table pose. Now, going back to a child is not in your practice right now. You're just going to either bring your fingerprints down, back of the palm knuckles down, or follow me going into dolphin, where I'm clasping my hands, forearm onto the floor. Either way, you see how easy it is for my rib cage to collapse. So I want to take some of that back. I want to bring the rib cage up slightly, curl my toes under, then lift the hips up towards the ceiling. And here, I want to bring the rib cage up again, bend at the knees. Now purposely take your sits bones way up towards the ceiling. So you're bending the knees and really creating a big, huge low back curve. Sits bones up towards the ceiling. Breathing into this stretch. Then let the rib cage go up and begin to straighten your hamstrings. And do it from the belly of the hamstrings. Stretching back. Breathing in. It's a nice deep breath. Good. Then release and come all the way back down. Good. And come into a seated pose and then up into a kneeling pose where you're going to bring your hands once again on your piriformis. Moving the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. So here, we're not going to bring our hips forward. We're going to take our upper part of our spine back. So you're holding this steady, moving the head of the arm bone. Think about your heart chakra going up towards the ceiling. And then just letting your head move towards the back, but don't collapse your head. Keep your head in line with the spine. Now as you keep your head in line with the spine, feel how that engages your belly. Have that connection. Back of the head, belly. We're not going into full Ustrasana, we're just opening up the front of the body. Right? Nice, deep breath. Good. Then release and come all the way back. Good. Curl the toes under and either come into downward dog again, or as I'm going to be showing you, dolphin. All up towards the ceiling, rib cage up towards your spine. Breathe. Top of the thighs, back. Good. See if you can put more energy in the top of the thighs, pressing back rather than your hands or your shoulders. Let them be free. Then stretch slowly your legs straight. And then let one heel go up and down. Just walk your dog. Nice deep breath. Good. Then release and come all the way back and come into a seated pose with both legs going straight out and inner spiral into Dandasana. Now take one of your blocks again. We're going to go deeper into the twist. So here, you're going to cross your, left leg over your right with toes sunny side up. So here, you want to make sure your heel is onto the floor, that you're feeling the back side of your leg onto the floor, hugging the knee in towards your chest, and then lifting up through the spine. So when you are feeling the piriformis not quite happy, you want to make sure that your whole bottom is settled in. Now your neck also wants to be free, so lengthen up through the neck. Right arm reaches, right arm crosses. So your right arm or forearm is going onto the opposite side of your knee. And if this is too much, hold on to your knee this way. But again, you want to keep belly to low back engaged, lifting up. You don't want to round here. It's going to put a lot of undue stress on the lower part of your back. So we're trying to get the belly and the low back to work together. Hand here onto the knee. Here we are. You can, if it's in your practice, bring your right foot up to meet the left. That's only if it's in your practice. If your hips are open enough, I'm going to show this with my arm on the other side. Now you're taking your left hand and bringing it on the block that is behind you. Just like this. So it's slightly behind. Got to make sure your hip of the arm bone is up toward the ear and back. Pressing down with your fingers, I'm allowing the raised floor, which is what the block is giving me, to help me lift up through the spine a little more and rotate with a nice deep breath. Good. And as you're doing this pose, remember the poses are always active. You're not just getting into the pose to hang out there. When you're breathing in, you want to, when you exhale, you want to rotate a little more. When you're breathing in, you want to inhale the spine a little bit taller. So you're twisting a little more on the exhale, inhaling the spine up. I'm pressing down a little more to just give me a little bit more of an edge. And breathe. Nice deep breath. Good. This is a very deep pose, at least in my body. So I just want to unwind this one. Let the legs go straight out. Pounce the legs onto the floor. Inhale up. See if you can get that same leg, the feeling of the length. And then walk your hands forward. And do this in a way that's informative. By that I mean, get to a certain place, readjust, get the sit bones to go down a little bit more, lengthen through the spine a little more, and then stretch. Then when you're at that place, get the sit bones to go down a little more, lengthen up through the spine, and go a little further. And breathe in. I think when we are in this winter practice, we need to approach our body in a way that's incremental. Just let the breath do a pose, readjust the pose, go a little deeper in. All of this pays off in the spring and the summer. You do this kind of a deep winter practice, you're much more open in the summer. And then inhale and come all the way back up. It all makes a difference. So I'm going to come back to Dandasana. Hopefully you feel a little more elongated. You're going to cross this time the right over. The block moves to the right side, just slightly behind you. What we're doing here is we're lifting the floor up so that we can get more power in our arms, hopefully in our belly, to actually lift up a little more. If it's in your practice to take your left leg around, then do that. And you gotta make sure that your right hip is still able to hit the ground in doing that. Left arm lifts. It's either gonna cross over like I'm showing or hold on to your knee. What you wanna do is what's gonna be optimum for you in this moment, whatever that's going to be. My hand is pressing down on the block. I'm taking the right head of the arm bone up toward the ear back, and I'm getting ready to elongate. So I'm getting my belly and my rib cage in, lifting up through the spine, then adding in the deeper twist. And again, with every inhale, you're lengthening up. With every exhale, you're rotating a little bit more. So with this kind of a position, I'm just trying to get my spine even higher up. Let me show it this way. Here's me getting into the pose, taking the arm bone up and back. I'm lengthening. I'm pressing down actively to get higher up, get my sits bones to be a little lower down, heavier bottom to rotate a little more. Rib cage in, belly in, breathing.
I'm having trouble.
Okay. Then release and come all the way back to center. And again, you're going to do straight legs, inner spiral. And we're going to incrementally, don't rush, incrementally move forward. So lengthen up through the spine. Sits bones in. What allows the sits bones to be heavier in is bringing the inner groins down to the earth, which flattens the hamstrings. So now I've got more of my leg kissing the earth. Now I can lift up through the spine a little more and breathe my way to my first level of edge. Then I'm going to back up a little bit, take the sits bones a little further down, engage my belly, and take it forward. What's that?
We've lost your picture and some of your voice.
Oh, Lord. Okay, hold on now. On my end, it seems to be working. All right, so I'm going to just play a little bit here. Does any of that work?
Yeah. Well, I see you, but yeah.
Can you hear me as well?
Yeah, your voice got a little less, but.
Okay. I don't know, it could be the Wi-Fi here, I'm not sure. All right, so let's do that one side again. Let's just do the one side again. We don't want to be lopsided. So you're crossing the right over the left.
Oh, we did that.
We did both sides, but I'm not sure where you dropped off with me.
After this one.
Okay, so Dandasana?
Yeah.
Okay, inner spiral. Now, inner groins, the power of these inner groins, the more they're loose and strong, your low back gets a big relief here. So inner spiral, get the sit bones to settle onto the earth. When your inner groins are more towards the earth, your hamstrings settle to the earth. So more of your hamstrings are kissing the earth. Okay, and then lifting up through the spine. Now, do this in levels. When I get to my first level, I'm going to breathe in, I'm going to my rib cage and I engage my belly, lengthen through the spine by getting your legs and your sits bones, your pelvis open to allow you to come forward. All of this is good muscle energy for what we're healing, which is your lower back. Breathing in and stretching. So you want to come to your edge, whatever that may be, back off a little bit, lengthen up through the spine, let your legs be heavier towards the earth, then come forward. So this is the kind of vinyasa that I do through my body to allow my body, especially in the winter practice, to stay open. And as I said, everything that is opened and everything that we go deeper into in the winter practice, which is much more muscle energy, has a benefit in the spring and summer practice. Then inhale and come all the way back up. All right. So here, you're going to come onto your back. We're going to stretch a little bit more, and by taking Sukhi Rendrasana, and I'm doing it this way so we have a little bit more of control of how we are opening that lower back. Now, this might be enough of a stretch for you. If this isn't, you're going to lift your knee up. You're going to stretch your left knee in towards your chest using your hands, letting your hands come between, hugging in. If this is too much, then you're going to take your right knee, put your left foot on the floor, and take your right knee away from you. Either way, I want you to note your low back curve. You should never be flat onto the back, onto the floor. You should always have that low back curve. Good. Now take your knee away. We want that low back curve. So you're either doing this, or you're taking your knee up, and I'm still with my low back curve here. Taking my knee is a little bit more of an advanced way of doing this. Good, then release, come all the way back down. Cross the left over the right, and we're going to show the first level first. So your right foot remains on the floor, left hand holds onto your knee, and you're pressing your knee away with your low back curve intact. Now to keep your low back curve as you're bringing your knee up, you've got to engage your belly. Bring your sits bones, take your top of the thigh down towards the earth, and bring your knee into your chest. Take your knee, your left knee, away from you. Good, then release. Bring both knees where we were to begin with, and you're going to rotate the circle. Now when you're doing the circle, you're going to come in and out of your lower back hitting the floor. So just notice that. Bringing the knees in, then pressing away. You should feel your low back curve coming onto the floor and then releasing away from the floor. And then move in the opposite direction. Again, using your breath and your awareness. Good. Then once again, you're going to let your legs lift, your arms reach overhead. Let your rib cage move down towards the floor, keeping the low back curve. Now for me to keep the low back curve, I can't do it this way. I've got to just let my legs go away from my head a little bit more. So here, kind of notice, rib cage in, low back curve engaged, legs away, stretch your hand, and breathe. Stretch your hands away from your toes, away from your head. Nice deep breath. Then release. Let your legs go all the way onto the floor. And from here, let your feet be mat width apart. We're going to go into the windshield wiper stretch a little bit deeper now. Taking your knees down towards the floor. Now the next time that your knees are onto the right side, you're going to lift your left arm up. If you want to take it a little further, you're bringing your ankle back up to your left knee and you're stretching. That's optional. You can keep your foot onto the floor. Either way, let your left side stretch with the left arm overhead. And breathe. Then release that. Let your windshield wipers go on back and forth slightly. Just moving from side to side. Then letting your knees go off to the left this time with your right arm reaching up. Left ankle maybe on top of your right knee if that is in your practice. If not, you're just breathing into your right side, taking a nice deep breath. Okay. Then, from there, you're letting your legs go straight out, putting on whatever clothes fits that you want to put on to stay nice and warm, socks and shirt or blanket or whatever it is. And you're going to move into Shavasana, just taking a 5-minute Shavasana break, laying down onto the floor, feeling your whole body relaxing, feeling your heels and your calf muscles and your thighs, hamstrings settle into the earth. Feeling your whole pelvic bowl just heavy and earthy. Feeling the length of your spine along the earth. Opening your heart by letting the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, so your heart is opening. Palms up towards the ceiling so you can feel the shoulder blades are comfortably on your back. And then the back of your head rests on the floor. You can feel the weight of your skull and your eyes, and just let them all relax. Just breathing in. Feeling the connection that you have with this earth. Letting your heart begin to move at the rhythm of the earth. Slow and deep. Open. When the angels speak, be sure to stop and listen with your heart ear, letting all other sounds fade, disappear, until finally your mind can hear what is being said. So allow small movements to come back into your fingers and back into your toes. And let your knees float up into your chest and hug them in, gently rocking from side to side. And then roll to one side as you pause for a moment and breathe into your own inner landscape. Feel this open space, a gift of awareness, gift of light. And then continue the side roll all the way back up to a seated pose. Then bring your hands to your heart center in prayer, Anjali Mudra. And together we will do one Om. So take a breath in. May we have peace in our heart and peace in our mind, and true and everlasting peace and healing on this planet this time as we celebrate what we celebrate at this time, whatever that is. Let it be a celebration of your heart, celebration of healing, celebration of new light. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing.
It's always wonderful to have you in for the class, Rose.
Oh, I'm so happy that you're all part of my community. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll miss you guys.
Thank you so much.
Yes. All right.
Let's
Let me
see you in the new year.
hold on one moment. Just hold on.